Ahead of Star Trek Discovery Season 4 coming out soon, we're going to learn what happened to Michael Burnham during her year alone in the 32nd century, before the arrival of the USS Discovery and crew. Strap in, it's warp time. Welcome to Trek Central, I'm your host Captain Jack, and let's get right into it. So from what we know for Star Trek Discovery Season 3, Commander Burnham spent the year 3188 being a courier before the arrival of the Discovery a year later, but a lot of things can happen in a year, so what did truly happen? Una McCormack's latest book, Star Trek Discovery Wonderlands, details everything that went down during that year, and it's packed with fascinating adventures. In this video we'll talk about what exactly Burnham was up to during that year, and how it impacts the rest of Discovery Season 3, and potentially Discovery Season 4. Of course, if you want to keep up to date on all the latest Star Trek news, lore and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media for daily updates on the Star Trek universe. Oh, and by the way, a big warning, spoilers on board for the book of Star Trek Discovery Wonderlands. You have been warned, and we do recommend reading a book before watching this video. But you can watch it anyway, we don't really mind, but do read the book maybe. Anyway, let's warp in.
We need an acting communications chief who can keep searching for my ship. Will you accept the commission?
We actually find out the name of Aditya Sahil starbase is that of Devaloka, with Devaloka being a plane of existence similar to the heaven in Indian religions. As of episode 1 of season 3 of Discovery, Aditya Sahil, who has been serving on starbase Devaloka all this time, was commissioned by Michael Burnham upon her arrival as communications officer. As a token of appreciation, Mr. Sahil gave Burnham a hollow journal of his grandmother, Pyra Tagore, who served as a Federation council member from before the burn. Starbase Devaloka has also more people on board than just Mr. Sahil, and has about 20 people living there. One such character is called Jemaya, who is an old courier who has deep hatred for the Federation, due to his planet being left for itself after the Temporal Wars. Jemaya lives in a place on the station called the Back 40, where he helps to keep the station still running, and helps Commander Burnham fix her tricorder, which will eventually help her find out where and when the USS Discovery is going to arrive. Book encourages Burnham to get a ship of her own, so they go and visit a ship graveyard known as the Necropolis. It's called this due to the holographic systems on ships being broken and turning on people aboard the shipwrecks, giving the impression of ghosts still inhabiting the destroyed ships. Burnham and Book board an Eden-class starship, a Starfleet ship known as the USS Mazamiki, named after a notable female mathematician who was the first woman to win the Mathematician Field Medal. The ship was constructed at the new Utopia Planitia shipyards, so at least we know that after the events of Star Trek Picard, the Utopia Planitia shipyards are eventually reborn and rebuilt. The ship Burnham finds herself on is a Nirvana-class flyer, which are known as a very reliable, robust one-person ship. Burnham and Book fix up one, and Burnham calls it the Alice, continuing Burnham's love of Alice in Wonderland from a book she was gifted by her adopted mother, Amanda Grayson. In a system a couple of weeks' journey from Devaloka lies Starbase 906, also known as Starbase Vanguard. This was a Federation starbase which had a Starfleet crew station on it even after the burn right up to the year 3186, 2 years before the arrival of Burnham in the future. This Federation starbase was home to researchers, who were coming up with alternate methods of transportation due to the galaxy's dwindling supply of dilithium, similar to the Navarre Project SB-19, which is of course explored in Star Trek Discovery Season 3. Vanguard's alternative project was called Project Rabbit Hole, where they constructed the transport tunnels that were used in Season 3 of Star Trek Discovery. This project was not deemed viable before the burn due to the extreme stresses that the tunnels had on ships who entered them, which resulted in the numerous pieces of ship debris found in the tunnels. Nice little bit of explanation there. During Season 3, we saw one of the mercentiles which operates in this new future. As some mercentiles, you'll see Starfleet reenactors, who dress up in slightly incorrect Starfleet uniforms and play pretend, looking for old relics they can add to their collections. Burnham offers herself as an expert on the Federation, and makes a tidy profit selling off Federation trinkets she has recovered, which she used to buy the black box of the USS Yelchin. This is one of the black boxes we see in the show, with this scene also being shown in Season 3 of her collecting it from a mercantile exchange. Of course, the USS Yelchin is named after Anton Yelchin, the late actor who played Chekhov in the Kelvin movies. He unfortunately passed away in 2016, but it's a great way to honour the legacy of the actor and of course the character as well. Ikazu, a self-sustaining planet, is visited by Book and Burnham, as they recover a call from a planet by a mother who used a Starfleet subspace relay that was left in the system. This world has looked inward since the burn, and have isolated themselves and made it taboo to not only send transmissions, but even to study the outside and look at the stars with a simple telescope. As we saw with Season 3 of Discovery, the brand new technology which we have seen in this 32nd century, including personal holoprojectors, which can scan the environment and disguise you as the lifeforms it detects, probably a new way to investigate pre-warp civilizations invented by Starfleet, an upgrade of a cloaking suit seen in Star Trek Insurrection. Burnham and Book help to get the mother and daughter off the planet and bring them to Sanctuary 4 to help them start a new life away from the outsider-fearing world. They also take the Starfleet subspace relay, which helps Burnham recover the message from Admiral Senna Tal from Earth. The next situation that Burnham finds herself in is on a Generation ship, where the elders of the ship despise the Federation due to the Federation leaving their homeworld to civil war after the Temporal Wars. The young on the Generation ship were told the Federation never existed, so they could forget the trauma that was caused by the Federation. However, the young eventually find out, and there was a generational split on the starship, which Burnham managed to resolve the conflict before it devolved into civil war. In Season 3, we hear the mention of the incident on Donto 7 from Book, and we see this play out in this book. Donto 7 is actually a hidden world in which the Couriers used to settle down and have their own families. The world is under attack from the White Palm, and Burnham convinces the Couriers to band together to defend their home. She eventually returns to Starbase Vanguard, and is offered the black box of a Gavnor, a Cardassian starship, if she is willing to help the forces of Vanguard Station assume control of Starbase Develoka. However, before she realizes it, Vanguard is actually run by the White Palm. They run the local systems as well, and we see themselves as a new Federation, but the methods in which they do it are very much unlike Starfleet. Book saves Burnham, and they manage to steal the black box as well as the logs from Starbase Vanguard. With the two black boxes now, Burnham realizes there is a difference in the timestamps related to the burn. This rarity of black boxes from the time of the burn really helps to tie into some plot points of Season 3, especially for conclusion and finding out how the burn eventually happened. Looking through the logs that were stolen from Starbase Vanguard, and the last log was recorded in 3186, which was 2 years before Burnham arrived, so there was in fact a Starfleet presence in the area in which Burnham found herself in only a couple of years before she appeared. It is good to see more factions of Starfleet still being able to operate so long after the burn, and should offer some interesting stories in the future as the Federation is reborn and starting to reach out again. White Palm raiders come to attack Starbase Develoka, but are fended off by a collective force of couriers and other allies that Burnham has made in the last year, from members of the Generation ship to the Cardassians they helped. This was a great way to tie together the book and all its varying plot points in an extremely satisfying way. Eventually, Burnham and Book decide to take the fight to the White Palm and assault Starbase Vanguard. However, before they can open fire, they are called to beam onto the station, and it turns out that Burnham's Cardassian courier friend Liana Padan has already organised a coup against the White Palm, which was successful due to the fact that a lot of White Palm raiders were off the station in order to take Starbase Develoka. On the return back to the other starbase, Burnham finally gets a reply from Terra Elysium, the world which was saved by Gabrielle Burnham in Season 2 of Star Trek Discovery. As we found in Season 3, Gabrielle Burnham didn't return to Terra Elysium, and she went back to the future, but actually back to Azoth 4. News from Terra Elysium was the last hope that Burnham was holding on to, and now that it was not the news she was expected, she is finally accepting that she may have to stay in this future without the Discovery, and should let go of the past and try to make a future for herself. This actually builds into Burnham's character in Season 3 and is beautifully written. Well done to Una McCormack for writing that one. And finally, we get the scene from Season 3 where Burnham and Book are on the Nautilus, exercising using Sue's Manu program, which Book made for Burnham. They finally get the answer via the US's Discovery. And those are the events of Burnham's year alone in the future. Very action-packed with lots of things happening. Once again, as always, do share your thoughts with us via the comment section below, because if you're talking about Star Trek, then we want to hear about it. If you want to keep up to date on all the latest Star Trek news, lore and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media or join our community Discord server. For now, I've been Captain Jack, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Live long and prosper, my friends.